Welcome to One on One, brought to you by Nebraska Equipment in Seward. I'm Eric Johnson, and it's time now to talk the state of EM. And with that, live on location at Casa del Sheffield, it's Mr. Sheffield of Exeter Milligan. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Thank you.
I love what you've done with the place.
We thought we'd spruce things up a little bit. So we said, let's just go whole hog and have fun with it.
Yeah, no Christmas tree yet, so I give you kudos right now. So,
well, I may have already started listening to some Christmas music on Sirius XM. So it's a happy day for me.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. As long as it ain't Wham or Mariah Carey, I'm all golden with that. So.
Well, it's whatever comes on, Holly or something like that. So
that's right. Well, it's time to talk the state of Exeter Milligan, and since we last talked, a lot of big things has kind of transpired here this fall season. Talk to us about, first and foremost, athletics. A great start for the initial year for a lot of activities, plus a lot of new activities added onto the plate. Can you talk to us about it?
You bet. For most people, this is the first year of the Exeter Milligan Friend Co-op for athletics. We've co-op football. This is year 5 for high school football, year 9, I think, for junior high. Goal was to be able to offer opportunities for our kids. So we wanted to be able to offer JV and a varsity schedule, and we've been able to do that. So, this fall we were able to offer cross country. So we had cross country going on, and believe we had 5 high school kids involved in that, 4 boys and a girl. They experienced some pretty decent success. I got to go to my first cross country meet. Thankfully, I didn't have to run in it. Volleyball, we ended up 17-12. It was a disappointing end for the girls because you could see the improvement as the year went along. Had a tough sub-district to where Deschler, BDS. But you know what? Successful season there. Football, we're still playing. That's always exciting. We had esports, and I think you have a child or two directly involved in the esports thing.
Yeah.
We actually had a team, our Clash Royale team, qualified for the state competition that's up in Wayne, and so they're going to go to that. So it's been busy. It's been a little bit different because EMF Bobcats, hence the Bobcat logo there on the top. But it's been great to offer some new opportunities for our kids and for our kids to be able to experience some success.
That's right. You got to give a shout out, of course, Severson and
Yep.
the first ever. So kudos to them. And of course, hearing my kids talk about having that as a homework assignment is always so glorious at night. But big shout out also to the softball team this year.
Yep.
1 game away, despite adversity. I honestly, interim coach Lamb did a fantastic job coming into play. So one of those deals, same thing as with the volleyball team. It just tough. It's tough losses, but it's a learning experience. And kudos to the girls for giving a valiant effort.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I don't want to say I forgot about softball because I did go to a few softball games, and they lost to the eventual state champions in the district final, and they actually pulled one. It was a 2 out of 3, and they got 1 game from Ashland Greenwood. So it was a good season too for the girls for softball.
Yeah. It's
trying to think of anything else that I missed, and everybody's going, "Oh, you forgot about us."
Oh no, I got you. It's just lots of activities, which I mean, obviously you can relate. Not used to this opportunity. Having so much availability for student athletes to compete in, regardless if it's on the court or behind the computer screen, but wrestling as well, starting up here.
Yeah, they already had their first junior high wrestling meet Monday. EM does not have anybody participating, but I could see some kids getting involved in that. We had our first junior high girls basketball game yesterday, and that's the other new thing with having junior high wrestling. So the junior high girls will have basketball before Christmas, while the boys are wrestling, and then junior high boys will be after Christmas. So it's a fast and furious November, December for junior high girls basketball because we got another girls junior high girls game today in Wilbur, and then Saturday we host Deschler, and there's I think 2 more games next week. So it's it gets fast and furious, and if you complain there's nothing going on or you have nothing to do, There's
You're
plenty of
mistaken.
school activities to come find, because we even had the Pioneer Conference vocal clinic. That was last Monday. Yeah, so I went down to that, so I didn't get to go to my first wrestling meet, but I will get to the first varsity meet is first weekend in December. That's the Bob Earhart Memorial Tournament and Friends. So I'll get to go experience my first wrestling meet.
A lot of firsts this year, and
Yeah.
it's just a great opportunity. Of course, you talk about November and December, winter season rapidly approaching.
Go.
Let's kind of look at the outside looking in, girls and boys basketball this season. Well, very excited to see how these two seasons pan out.
I'm looking forward to that. Just trying to preliminary numbers when we talked last spring about co-oping and stuff like that. There was going to be for the last few years, for at least for the EM girls, we have not had a JV schedule. Now we're looking maybe upwards of 20 girls going out for basketball. We can have a JV and a varsity schedule. Boys, they've talked about in the 30s. I think that'll probably pare down a little bit into the upper 20s, but still a JV and a varsity. And if we could schedule some more games, that's been another push, is that we want to be able to provide those opportunities for our kids. So we're probably gonna have to schedule some other games. So Mondays or a Saturday morning or something like that, to make sure that all the kids get the opportunity. So looking forward to that. And it's just nice to be able to have kids to be able to play at their level. You never want to put a person into a situation where they're, I don't want to say doomed for failure, but just to make sure they're not in over their head. So looking forward to it, but yeah, it's going to keep us busy.
Yeah, it's the fish out of water feeling. You don't want to have the kids experience that right away in their
Yep.
first year. So getting them acclimated in the right way, I think is so far so good for EMN and for Friend as well. And of course, we're talking here with Paul Sheffield, one-on-one, the state of Exeter Milligan. We do periodic updates with my special guest over here, and we talk about not only the athletics but the academics as well, and organizations, state FFA, and all that has transpired. Talk to us about the organizations first off.
We had a few kids. They went to National FFA in Indianapolis, and there were two EMF Bobcats that got their American degree. Ben Bartu and Kaya Songster got their American degree. So that's a pretty big honor. That's a national award, and not
Yes.
everybody gets that. So they got to go out and be on the big screen at Lucas Oil Stadium. I didn't go out, but I had the opportunity when my son got his American degree to go out there. So that's a huge honor for those kids. And the FFA is just busy as all get out. They helped out with Feed the Farmer. They'll have their leadership development and career development competitions coming up here. FCCLA has been busy. Their state convention rolls around in March along with the state FFA, but they had their district gathering in Hastings probably about 3 weeks ago. When you look at it, there is somebody out of school almost every day, to where the kids that are involved. We got one act play coming up. The play they did it Sunday here in Exeter. This coming Sunday, they'll give a matinee down in Milligan in the auditorium. Then let's see. Hopefully on Monday the 20th, 21st, hopefully we won't have school that day, because that means we would have won Friday and playing in a Memorial Stadium at 10:15 a.m. Just put that plug in there.
Maybe, I think the schedule's opening up,
Yeah, I always hope so.
Yeah.
They'll give the matinee, and then they have their conference play on Wednesday the 15th, next Wednesday. And then their district competition is at Nebraska City Lord. So that's, they're busy doing that. And that's an exciting key thing, because we have I think a total of 15 kids involved in that. So it's just busy.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah. It's fun. You get to see the kids in their thing. And another plug for esports. Esports has a fall, winter, and a spring season. So the fall season is coming to a close here shortly, and the winter season will start up, and it's Super Mario Kart. Sounds like we have 2 teams already for Super Mario, because there's a lot of them said, "Oh, I'm good at the kart. I'm good at the kart." We'll see, but
yeah, it's gonna.
Uh, for the kids that we get involved in that, they're maybe not involved in any other activity either. So it's great to be able to see them involved. We've got quiz bowls. So the junior high has been to, I think they got second in the quiz bowl, and the high school has had some success in quiz bowls. There's always something going on, always.
Yeah. But academics as well. I mean, obviously, you spoke briefly about band, choir, but band doing well. And
Yep.
what other things are going on this fall? That some key highlights.
The band marched at the state fair. They'll have some honor bands, choirs coming up, so the kids will. Part of their assignment is they have to prepare an audition tape. Whether they actually submit it or not is another story, but provide those opportunities for those kids. The music season really gets a little hectic towards the spring when we have district music competition and stuff like that. Academic wise, like I said, quiz bowls, literature bowls, just trying to provide those. We had a elementary, actually, I think it was 5th and 6th grade, went down to Thayer Central and participated in a quiz bowl there. College visit time, so now we got kids thinking about college visits. Just a myriad of things going on.
And of course, just all around craziness, but a good craziness too. But another highlight too, obviously, with news outside, the co-op still going on strong, but there will be some upcoming dates for people to come out and talk about the potential discussion for consolidation, correct?
Yep. Yeah, we've been talking about that for quite a while, probably since pre-COVID, when it first started out as maybe a co-op, and then it moved towards maybe a possible consolidation. But now we're taking those next steps, and we've published and talked about it at board meetings, and just basically keeping the forefront what's best for the kids. And it's a hard thing to talk about, that people don't want, consolidation, that naughty C word. But 22 years, 23 years ago, the patrons and the boards from Exeter Milligan had that discussion of, how can we provide, what's the best way to provide for our students? And they made that decision, well over 20 years ago. And, it's coming around then. When EM first went together, Exeter had an enrollment of 206, and Milligan, I think, was right around 132. Together right now, today, Exeter Milligan is at 142. So you're looking at that enrollment wise, it's smaller than what Exeter was when EM first went together. Friends enrollment is also seeing a decline. Their official enrollment, which was last Friday in September, October 1st, was I think 213. Usually, and generally they've been about 260 to 280. Putting us together, we would be right around 360. Which is a good size D1, C2 school. And basically, what opportunities could we provide for our kids? And that's what we're looking at. How can we position ourselves down the line to provide opportunities for our kids, not only now, but 20 years in the future?
And what are the dates coming up for people to keep in mind?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot, Eric. I gotta look it up.
Obviously, the initial discussion into
you
guys will talk to the public, and then the public will give their
we have scheduled. I'll look it up here, but we got scheduled 2 community meetings. Basically, what we want to do is get the word out. This is what we're planning to do. So the first 2 meetings in January will be just basically to share the information. We'll say there's no public comment, but what we want people to do is get the info first. So that way they have the information, they can discuss it, talk about it, and make informed decisions. I'm just looking up the timeline here, so bear with me while I get those exact dates. Should have been better prepared, Eric, I guess. Huh?
No, it's all right. But realistically, you guys are going to be having this out so people are aware.
Oh, yeah.
And available both on social media and abroad. So
so I'll give a plug. I did put all this in my newsletter article if people read it. So on Wednesday, January 17th at 7:00 in Milligan, and then on Tuesday, January 23rd at 7:00 in Friend, we're going to have special meetings where we will share the information about what the petition would look like, what the EMF would look like, what our plan is. That'll give a chance for people to listen to it. We'll also take the time. We'll hand out note cards, kind of like when we were at the co-op meeting. What we did is we handed out note cards if people had questions. And what we'll do is we'll hand out postcards. And if they have a question, they can hand them in. And that'll give us time. So then when we have meetings Tuesday, February 27th at 7 o'clock in Friend, and March 4th, it's a Monday at 7 in Exeter. We'll do a brief introduction of what the plan is. And that's a time that we'll try to answer questions that have been submitted, and also for public comment.
Okay.
There'll also be time for people at the regular board meetings in January, February, and March. But overall, probably have a vote by each board in April. And the consolidation wouldn't go in effect until 25, 26. And the reason we have to do it so early is once the boards decide, yes, we want to do a consolidation, or it's called a petition for a reorganization, then you have to submit that petition to the state. Then the state reorganization committee will look through it and say, yeah, we think this is a good idea. So you have to get the blessing from the state to say, and they need all that by July. And so just gives us time also to get the word out, how things will look. And then in April, if each board says yes, then that gives us time as administrators to try to get things rolling, because there's a lot of moving parts that'll go through, but we just want to make sure people get the info.
And of course, yeah, that's the good point. Just because something like this, having it where it's shared out an extra platform, that way we can get the word out,
Yep.
get plenty of people involved, and thinking in, like you said, thinking for the kids' sake, and thinking how everything's going to transpire the right way. So,
when you look at it, and the kids get along. If you ever look at an activity where I'm thinking about volleyball, when the kids got together and cheered and stuff like that, you can't tell which one is an EM kid. You can't tell which one is a Friend kid. The kids get along fine. It's us as adults that are struggling with, do we go together? Do we consolidate? I grew up in the situation like that in Minnesota, where it was two towns together, and then a third town came into the mix. And, it's a few more than 25 years. I'd have to say 35.
Yeah, don't worry. You're not
okay, more than 35 years later. You know what? It works. It truly works.
Tough pill to swallow, but it's for the benefit for others, and it's good to have the knowledge out there. And like I said, everybody sees this and hears this as well. Please plan accordingly if you want to learn more. And if they have any information as well, please, I would say contact you at the school.
No problem. Give me a call. Ask a question. I'm not afraid to do that, because somebody had said before is that, if we can do this for athletics, and we could provide more opportunities in athletics, why can't we just do this? Why can't we do this in academics? Because we would be able to offer more for our kids. So that's the thing. Who are we in it for? It's not for me. It's not. Sorry, Eric. It's not for you. It's for our kids. But you're a direct benefit of that. It's for your kids and for the future.
Yeah. I just, seeing it and just riding alongside, basically riding alongside your coattails and following everything. It's just the advancement, the growth. It's there. It's starting to bud. It's going to take some time. So,
Yep.
Well, always a pleasure, my friend. Before we go, final thoughts, anything you want to tell the listening audience?
Let's just keep things rolling, roll Bobcats, and I almost want to say roll Tide, but I'm not a huge Alabama fan. But like the kids hear me say, let's roll. So let's roll.
Hey, like I said, we wish everybody the best of luck, especially the football team. And if we're going to Lincoln, I think Jackie should be the last one to shut off the lights before we leave town. So
we'll just leave them on because it's during the day anyway. But
there you go.
I'll get another plug. For those that can't go up to Crofton on Friday, you can watch the game. You can listen. First of all, you can listen to the EMF network. That's free. But if you want to watch the game, it's on the National Federation. You can watch it, but you'll still get to hear Eric, because Lori Clues, Friend Media, they're going to provide the Strive crew, so we're going to be able to stream it, but it's going to be available on National Federation. So that's kind of neat. The kids are going to be doing the filming. Eric's play-by-play through EMF Network will go through it, so you'll get to watch. But you have to buy the membership, for the 1 month thing. But if you just want to listen to Eric free on the EMF Network.
I was gonna say, yeah, it is an honor. I want to give a shout out to Strive Sports and them for giving me the opportunity and pushing the good word. I appreciate pushing the good word of the EMF network as well. So it has been an awesome year for the network, and couldn't do it without you, obviously, and everything that's transpired with the student athletes. They're the ones that have been working, and I'm just enjoying life. So
yeah, we're just enjoying the ride, aren't we?
Exactly right. But well, my friend, thank you so much, Mr. Paul Sheffield of Exeter Milligan, joining us here on One. And I haven't heard you say at all, my friend. Skol Vikings.
I don't want to jinx myself, but they're doing pretty good here lately, even with all their injuries. So, to have Josh Dobbs come in on a Tuesday and then lead them to victory.
Yep. He gets the W before he even learns the names of the offensive line. So there you
go. Yes, Skol Vikings. Let's go.
Thank you, buddy. Welcome to One, brought to you by Nebraska Equipment in Seward. Eric Johnson with you. Haven't been talking too long here. Fall season has almost come and gone. It's time to talk the state of EMF. And with that, let's talk about what's going on at Friend. Joining me is Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, appreciate it as always, my friend. How's everything going in Friend?
So far, so good. It's been a good school year so far, and glad to be here.
It's always glad to see you. And of course, we hit the ground running right away in August. Academics, athletics was always a big thing too. New activities coming in for not only the EMF, but for the Friend School in particular. Tell us about the new additions to the activities and how it made an impact in the school.
Yeah, so we added esports as one of the things that it got a later start than everything else, but man, we've had some good matchups with some other schools, and I've been very happy with the start of esports and what that looks like. I think that's going to grow over time. I'm not a video game guy, but I think I said that the last time, but I've been very happy we added it because there's been a lot of interest, and I look for a lot of good things coming down with that. Cross country for their inaugural season was it was fun to watch. I went to the meet in Milford. We had some boys run really well. We only had one girl out, but she fought hard all season long. I see some good things coming that way in terms of program building. We have some good junior high kiddos coming up that'll kind of build onto that program. So that's been exciting. And of course, the things that we've done together, like you have your softball and your football. Obviously, softball one game away from the state tourney, and then football still deep into the playoffs. Those are going well. And then you got volleyball for an inaugural season for volleyball, meshing girls together, kind of even meshing coaching staff together. I thought it was met with good success. I think there's a lot of things to build on for the future. It was kind of sad to see the seniors have to part ways with the team there at the end. I was kind of hoping for it to go a little longer, but I saw a lot of things. One thing I'll say about volleyball real quick is my board president, she has girls on the team, and she's sitting at a tournament, and Fillmore Central came up to her and like, geez, we can't even tell the difference between who the Friend girls are, who the Exeter girls are, who the Milligan girls are. Can't tell. They were just all together, joking around in between games, having fun. And, I think that bodes really well for all of this moving forward, from co-op to consolidation, and just getting these kids together, enjoying each other's company, playing hard, working hard, and see that spill over into academics too. I'm just very excited about all of it.
I am too. I'm very happy that there was no kind of defining line for the softball and for the volleyball team this year.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Sleifert, of course, softball team hit adversity new interim coach, Coach Lamb, did an excellent job finishing things out well. But, Coach Fosick and everybody there on the volleyball squad, brand new. I mean, even yours truly was going, hey, where do we go here for conference and into those conference plays? And man, I mean, it was just smooth transition. It was just new territory, but smooth transition. Yeah. It was awesome.
And to see the success we saw, I mean, it's no slouch of a conference that we're in, and to make some waves there, that was pretty fun. So.
Hey, that's all right. We'll stir the hornet's nest and get ready for it next year.
That's right.
So besides the conference response to us coming in, open arms, we're doing so well. Academics as well has got to be a big thing, especially with FFA and all the other organizations attached to it. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I mean, FFA is just firing on all cylinders. Honestly, having two sponsors really helps. One on each site can really help grow that program. I haven't seen. I've been in a few other districts before this one, and for the size that we are, even combined, to have as strong an FFA program as we have it's outstanding. Those ladies have everything running well, and we're competing, statewide. When we go to things, we're bringing home hardware. We're really showing what we're learning in the classroom with agriculture. Really excited about that. I'm really hoping that this also translates to other things down the road. I know we kind of hit a bump in the road with like FCCLA in terms of, we had a sponsor, and she had to hang it up. So we're kind of in the lurch right now, but we're hoping to get some traction down the road with other academic clubs and offerings and activities to kind of continue this momentum we have. So
talking with Mr. Anderson, the state of EMF, state of Friend, of course, right here on One, brought to you by Nebraska Equipment and Seward, and all incredible things, and especially with the co-op. What do we as fans and listeners, especially, what are we looking forward to here with the co-op? I guess discussions are still ongoing, co-op leading to consolidation. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Well, we've had each board has an area committee. We've got together with the two committees combined to kind of lay out some meetings moving forward. Those are going to be coming out. You'll get the dates on those. I don't have those right off top on my desk here, but okay. January, February is going to be the heat of meetings in Milligan, Exeter, and Friend. All the locations are at least having one meeting. I think we're going to even strive one of our meetings in Friend just so that people can get the information about what this consolidation is going to look like. But we'll have meetings. We'll have opportunities for community members to listen, but we'll also have different meetings. We'll have for community members to speak up and talk, just like they did for the co-op. So with all that said and done, January and February are going to be kind of meeting heavy, and then April is going to be when the rubber meets the road, and we'll have a board vote at Exeter Milligan and one at Friend. So
I guess for more information, just stay tuned to the bulletins and all that, and on Facebook and Twitter with you guys, and Exeter Milligan will have same information as well. So,
and I think Mr. Sheffield may have put something out in the newsletter. I don't know, but if he hasn't, he will. And I'm doing the same thing at the school newsletter. And then also he and I have talked about putting something in the paper too, just to lay it all out there. There it is. Come to the meetings, and listen. You don't have to speak, but get informed. And we're not doing anything but trying to inform and then get feedback from the public before we move forward. So
a lot on your plate, and we haven't even started talking about winter season yet. Are you excited about winter season coming up here? It's right around the corner.
I am. I've got to tell you, I'm excited for girls and boys basketball. I'm a former basketball coach, so as far as that goes, really looking forward to the talent that the two districts combined will have. There's going to be some serious competition for varsity spots this year. I know, just speaking from being here at Friend now, this is year 3. The amount of competition for those starting spots has never been, more heated. I think it's going to be really fun. And I don't envy Brian Arp at all on the boys' side, having to try and pick who those varsity players are. But it's just going to pay dividends in terms of how deep we can go. Because you look at last year, you look at EM, you look at Friend, you look at you couldn't go very deep in the bench before you started hitting freshmen, sophomores who weren't ready to play varsity ball, really. Yeah. And so to have that depth along with the talent is going to be awesome. And I think Sarah Pella, she's learned a lot in her time as an EM assistant coach. I think she's ready to kind of take the reins for the girls. I like her energy. I like her passion. I think she relates well with the girls. I'm ready to see some competition on the girls' side too, just for those starting spots and see kind of how it all lays out. We could be pretty tough, both girls and boys' side this year. We'll have to see.
A lot of skill on the girls' side, but if it was any thought of last year with the Battle of the Bulldogs, as me and Tanner Schmady called it with the last game, there is a bright future this year. I'll tell you that for sure for us.
Absolutely. So. And we're on the wrestling side, this is all new for EM on that front. We're realizing that's going to take a little time for some traction in that sport. My previous district I worked in was very much a wrestling school, so I've learned to respect and even enjoy parts of that game, that sport as well. But we're looking to build traction over time, both with boys wrestling, and eventually we'll get girls wrestling kind of going as well with some traction there too. So could be fun. There's definitely going to be some wrestlers that are going to improve over the year, and maybe even make a few waves of their own this year. So we'll see.
Hey, only time will tell. And right. Of course, can't wait for the ride as always, my friend. Final thoughts to tell the listening audience.
Just, one of the things I really enjoyed after the last time we talked is I just kind of sat back and thought about just how much I enjoy, being on your show to talk about things and just
you're just making me get a big head.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll probably do something dumb and you'll change your opinion on me. But anyway, I just enjoy being on your show, being able to talk about kind of the things that are upcoming, and just another chance to talk about co-op, because that's honestly for the last year or so, that's what I've been eating, living, eating, breathing, sleeping, all of it. So and I would just say to anyone who's listening or watching right now, if you ever want to bend my ear, feel free. That's what we're here for, and I'd love to talk about it more, but I appreciate you having me on.
Well, and it's a tough deal. I mean, there's lots of thoughts and questions and concerns, and that's the whole deal about not only this show but the network, is to have a platform for the schools to use, and get the word out that way. And so that's my goal, and hopefully we could utilize this platform and kind of branch out a little further. So
yeah, absolutely, it's a great opportunity. I love it.
Awesome. Mr. Anderson of Friend Public Schools, thank you, my friend. Appreciate the time as always. And, let's go enjoy the game Friday night. What do you say?
I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great.
Go Bobcats.
Go Bobcats.